Okay. Oh gosh. Hello, hello, hello. How are we all doing today, everybody? Keeping an eye on my Wi-Fi and the stream, because last time it was a bit choppy. So hopefully it's a bit better today. How's everyone doing? Say hi. Gonna do the usual hang about for a couple minutes and you know, have some greeting chats. Oh god, pressing buttons with my microphone. And we'll talk about what we're going to do today while potentially any other people show up. Nice one, nice one. Right, so today the plan is animation. We're in. If you haven't seen the latest devlog on YouTube already, head over to the YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button first of all. We're trying to get to 150 by the end of the week. You know, it's pretty close. We're 10 away. Well, 11 subscribers away, so I reckon we can probably get there. I just need to make some decent thumbnails for my videos. But yeah, if you're not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. It would really mean a lot. It would really help the channel out. Really help out with the algorithm juice and all that as well. And yeah, in that devlog there was some time lapse of us doing art development for the game, which if you don't know, if you aren't subscribed again, we had the entire project basically corrupt back at the end of last year, and my New Year's Eve video that I uploaded was about that. So from that I decided to do a full reset, do some proper planning, think about where I want the vision of this game to go, and part of that was coming up with an art style that I wanted to go with, and that plays into, you know, things that I can do. I'm fortunate enough to be partners with a graphic designer and have my dad be a graphic designer as well, so I've got, you know, two fantastic resources for people giving me feedback and input on how to do things in Illustrator and Photoshop for creating all the visuals that I do for the game and for this channel. So I could be a bit more ambitious, but I still need to tailor it back. So we went with this rather simplistic style, all simple vector graphics. If I can open this up real quick so you guys can see it. This was the outcome of that kind of first session, and I'm really chuffed with the way it came out. I don't know about you guys. What do you guys think? Let me know in chat how you feel about this art style. But this is a midway prototype of the first area called the Undergrowth, which is the first floor of the tower, if you will. And I'm thinking of switching the colours around, so having a nice orange, maybe orange-purple gradient in the background with the foliage all being green instead. But all of these little elements will be, you know, dynamically animated in the game, and we'll be doing some fun stuff with those. But today I want to focus on this little bloke down here, our little player character. We're going to be spending most of this stream doing animations for him and getting him looking real nice and juicy. We're going to be using Unity completely for this. I don't have Spine or anything. For anyone who knows how game development work, I don't use Spine for any animation because I don't have the money for that. So luckily enough, Unity relatively recently actually put in a full set of animation tools for 2D. So we're going to do everything in-house. Hello to anyone who's just showing up as well. I'm seeing the numbers tick up on YouTube a bit. Welcome. If you've not been here before, please consider subscribing. Make sure to leave a like and stay active in chat. I like chatting with you guys. Okay, so with the way we've got this set up, we're using Photoshop here. I've got my beautiful man with his nice glowy eyes. He's chilling here in Photoshop, and the file format for this is a PSB file, not PSD, but PSB, which is a Photoshop big document. And that's because Unity has a package called the PSD importer, but it actually works with PSB files rather than PSDs. But this means as long as I've got everything arranged on layers like so, it will automatically take those layers and import them into Unity as separate sprites, which makes, you know, doing our animations really straightforward. So that's how we've got that imported, and then I've just dragged them into the new project here as a PSB, and it's, you know, all of this is set up automatically, and I've just adjusted the pixels per unit to make sure he's the right scale and stuff. But we're doing all of the animation things today. We're going to do all of the creating the rig and the skeleton. We're going to get that all done. Icon Arts, thank you very much. It's good to have you here. You should definitely go for it. Go for it if you've got, you know, if you've got the time to be working on a game project. Hit the record button while you're doing it. Just have it as a passive thing in the background, and come a Saturday or whatever, you could just bash it together and make a video, you know. Soon I am planning on starting a Discord server, which might seem premature to some people, but I want to start building a community for, you know, people like you who are making games as well and want to start doing devlogs. And one of the things that I want to do on that is getting some of you guys onto live streams here. Certainly as the community starts to grow and as the channel starts to grow a bit more, I want to be able to share more of the stuff that you guys are doing. And one of the things that I want to do in that Discord server is getting people onto a live stream on possibly a Friday or even a Saturday after devlogs go up, and we can play your guys' games on those live streams with you on to do commentary. I mean, if you think that's a good idea, let me know. If you don't, let me know as well. But that's an idea that I'm wanting to play about with. Awesome, yeah. If you do get a laptop, go for it. Go for it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. In the words of Shia LaBeouf himself. All right, let's get straight into it, shall we? Let's not dilly dally. So I've just clicked the sprite editor button over here in Unity to pop open my guy in Unity. I'll tell you what, let's just full screen this so it's nice and easy to see. So we're going to be creating a rig. To go to this page, it usually opens up in this screen by default. To change over, you just click on the sprite editor up in the top left and then head down to the skinning editor tab. And this gives you the overview of your character and also the ability to create preview poses, edit bones, and all the rest of it. So I'm just going to hit straight onto the edit bones button. Not edit bone, create bone, and that gives us this nice little red dot. It runs a little bit slowly sometimes for me. Oh no, has the Wi-Fi just died? We might be okay. We might be okay. It looks like it's still going on YouTube, just very slowly. Let's have a look at OBS real quick. Just make sure. Yeah, it looks like it's just low. I don't think it's dropped out though. Can I get a confirmation on YouTube and Twitch? Oh well, predominantly YouTube that things are still going. It looks like they are. It looks like they are. Just being a bit choppy. Alright, hopefully that picks up in the next couple of minutes. And hopefully I don't keep getting lag in Unity. We're not off to a good start so far. Tell you what, let's let me just shrink this down again because it might be because I'm so zoomed in. Hurting my performance. Yeah, that seems a bit better. Can everybody see the size of me person alright on screen if I have it this big? Glad to hear it's still working. I've had issues in the past where my Wi-Fi's gone down because it's having problems at the moment. We've got a technician coming out next week to hopefully fix it, but there have been problems where the Wi-Fi's cut out and it just kills the stream on YouTube and I can't start it back up again. So yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen this time. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Let's get on and start drawing some bones. So I'm going to start off by just clicking once at the bottom of the body. And this comes up here. I'm going to split him in half a little bit. I'm going to give him a chest bone, a base bone, and also a head bone. And we're just going to click up at the top of the head and then right click off to the side to cancel out that. And something is majorly hitting my performance. I imagine it's the amount of tabs I've got open in Chrome. Might just be eating up my resources. It's kind of hard to get my positioning right when it's playing up. But after we've done that, we want to make sure to select this bottom bone again. So to create those bones, I've just left clicked in a chain up the head and then right click to cancel out. Reselect this bottom bone for the legs because I want that to be where they're parented to. And we're just going to click in here. Come down to about where the knee is, following the curve of the leg as well. And one in the middle of the heel. And then extend out to the end of the foot. Right click again. And then still with that bottom leg selected, bottom bone of the body selected, we're going to go to the top of the left leg and do the same thing. More or less where the knee is. And down to the heel. And then out to the end of the foot. Like so. And then I'm also, with the head selected, I'm going to create one more bone just about here, going across ways. like so. And that's going to be for the eyes, because we want those to be, I want to be able to move those independently of the body and have those blinking and animating separately as well. Right. So then we go to this auto geometry, not auto geometry, I mean, no, I do mean auto weights? No, I do mean auto geometry. So this is great. This is basically, if you've ever used Blender or anything before, Blender or Maya or something that does skeletal animation, this is a pretty standard thing for rigging. You have weights and influences that bones have on different parts of a mesh, and the same goes here. So what we can do in Unity is head to this auto geometry, click down here to generate for all visible, and it will go through and automatically generate us some weights and stuff. You can see it's made this really colourful now, and that's great because it, you know, at this point we can start moving things about, and it's like, oh, exciting, but you know, it looks a bit of a mess. So we're gonna have to go in here and sort some things out as far as the weighting of the bones goes. So we'll start off with the bone influence. So bone influence is pretty self-explanatory. It's what bones influence what sprites. We're going to start off selecting our eyes by double-clicking on there. We want this to only be influenced by bone 10, which is our eye bone. So that's good. If we click on this eye though, it's completely influenced by bone 3, also known as our head. So we're going to hit the minus button down here on that, and then select our eye bone and press the plus button to add that in. And now the only bone influencing this eye, or both of these eyes, is the eye bone. We'll do the same thing for the head. The head's got some influence from our eye bone here, so we're going to just click on bone 10 and hit minus. And also a little bit from the body, which I don't want particularly. So we're going to select bone 2, which is our chest bone, and hit minus there as well to remove that. Happy days. Keep going through our sprites and doing this stuff. So the body, I only want to be influenced by the chest and the main bone. So we'll select any other bone that's in here and just hit minus to get those out of here. Same with the head. So now it's just bone 1 and bone 2. And then in the legs are actually pretty good. I do want the foot bone to influence the leg slightly, but I don't want the leg to influence the foot bone. Sorry, I don't want the leg bones to influence the foot, so I'm going to remove those bones from the foot because I only want rotation to be applied to the foot by the foot bone, and then we can have the foot bone also slightly influence our leg bone so that it doesn't look weird, but we'll have to do some fiddling with weights and stuff to make sure that looks right. Move over and do the other one. That leg's actually all looking pretty good. It does have that one in there, so I will remove it. Nope, I don't want to remove it. I want to add it back in. I'm doing things backwards. Ugh. There we go. We'll go in here and then remove bone 8, which is our lower left leg bone from our foot. Cool. So that's our influences sorted, but you can see if I go now and hit preview pose on this, we're still going to have some weird things going on, especially in these feet. You can see when I bend the feet down, we get some weird stuff going on at the ankles. We've got like some bulges going on here and some weird slippy bits out the bottom as well. I imagine it's probably much the same here. Yeah, there's our ankle is sticking out a fair bit at the bottom. And also if we go up here to our body and we move our chest bone, look at that, that's not normal. We've got this really weird... Oh, that's weird as well. Our eye isn't moving with this, so there we go. This is why we always go in and test stuff. We need to make sure on our bone influence that is influenced, but it's going to be the weights. So if we go to our weight slider, or let's go to the weight brush instead. We're going to make the hardness 100. Add and subtract. So this is like a brush that lets us paint onto the vertices. to have influence going on. Oh, I've got the wrong bone selected though. I want to make sure we have our eye bone selected. That bone, and we're gonna paint on here like that. Make sure we've got all of these vertices covered by our eye bone. Now we should be able to move our head and our chest, and it all, yeah, that all moves as we'd expect it to. Cool. So one issue that I can see straight away with the body is that we haven't got like a line in, we haven't got a line within our body that can act as like a central splitting point that we can then deform the character around. We want to be able to have like a single crease, if you will. So we're going to hit this edit geometry button, and we are going to wing it a little bit. I think what I want to do is create vertex, or no, create edge, and then I should be able to draw from one vertex to another, and there we go, it creates us a line. Now, I'm wondering if I create a vertex here and here, that's brilliant. It's just automatically linked everything up. The question is how is this going to look with our weighting? So if we go to our weight brush, I want all of this stuff up the top to be influenced purely by our chest bone. And what we'll probably want to do is have like a collapse zone in the middle. So like a region in the center of our chest that will kind of act as like a point that the vertices can move to. So we'll have the weights slowly getting less. So if we lower our weight a little bit, we can apply a little bit of yellow down here just to get stuff a little bit more balanced. Let's go back one. So let's have a look at how this looks. That's looking a bit better. I just want to go in now and let's do the bottom half. Make sure these bottom ones are oopsie daisy. Nope, this one. There we go. Make sure all of this is red. Let's make this one. Where's my brush? Make that one yellow. Then there's still some down here which are misbehaving a bit. So this is probably the hardest part about animating, is getting the rig set up properly. Because, I mean, you can see, looking at the general shape of the character, he's a pure trapezium. So it's kind of hard to get this little crumple zone going. And we're ending up with some weird stretchy artifacts. But if I look on this side, you can see here this one probably needs to be more influenced by yellow. So let's grab our yellow brush and have him slide over here. We'll stick a little bit more red on that. Red, please. There we go. What? Why are you yellow? I want to use red. There we go. So we're just trying now to smooth out this curve effectively. So that one was probably a little bit too much influence there. And again, a little bit too much there. We just want it to be really subtle so we get a nice smooth curve kind of coming in. Oops, too much there again. Nice smooth curve. So our back is now kind of smooth looking. The front not so much, but I imagine it will be much the same kind of getting that balance working. So if we, just to make sure that that's looking okay both ways. There. I don't think we'll be able to get it completely smooth. I think if I create a rule for myself that is he can't bend backwards very far, that'll be okay. That'll be okay. We might end up with some weird artifacts happening though. Especially looking at these. I'm tempted to just combine that all into one bone, or at least treat it like it's one bone and not animate them separately. Because if I rotate this one, because our chest bone is a child, it'll all rotate as one. So I think for the time being, I'm going to pretend it doesn't exist, and then we'll come back to it if we need it. Brilliant. Thanks very much for coming. Have a good one, and thank you for the good luck. Okay, so now we've got our rig created, we'll hit apply, and that will create our rig in this view. So now if we select our player design, we should be able to see under here that we have this skeletal structure. I need to turn on gizmos so we can see that, but here we go. Now we have this this cool skeletal structure. Oopsie daisy. And I've already messed things up. So that's going to be this bone. There is a thing on somewhere. It'll be the eye sprites. We want to reset the bind pose to get those back to normal, because it's made my eyes all slanty now. Or maybe we can just reset that said rotation. Ooh, let's not do that. 90. Minus 90. Yeah, that looks about right. So as you can tell, there's more I need to learn, and there's some flaws to Unity's built-in animation, and like you can see here, if I move this about, it's not constrained. But one thing we do want to do, because I don't want to have to flaff about animating these legs all like they are by hand, because that's just a mess as well. Look at that, he's doing some sort of like weird squat pattern. So what we're gonna do is create some inverse kinematics, which sounds like a complex thing. If you ever done any animation or game design before or looked into it, it sounds a lot more complex than it is. All it is just creating a target point for a series of bones. So instead of having to animate all of the different bones by hand, we can just have a single game object that we can move about, and it will update the bones in that chain to be in a normal position. First though, I'm going to reopen this guy in the sprite editor, head back to our skinning editor, and we're going to name some of these bones. So let's go here. Instead of bone 3, it's going to be head. Let's do it head bone, like that. And this one is going to be eye bone, chest bone, chest bone. We've got our main bone, which is basically the hips, but I'm going to call it main because it's the root of the whole thing. What are you? You are the upper leg underscore R bone, like that. The text is probably quite small on screen, I apologise for that. My resolution's really high and I don't think I can zoom in the UI. This one is going to be lower leg underscore R bone, and this one is going to be foot underscore R bone. Over here we're going to do, of course, the upper leg underscore L bone. What are you? You are the lower leg capital L, lower leg, underscore L, no, yes, that's right, bone, and the foot, underscore L, bone. Hi to everyone new showing up on YouTube as well. Glad you could swing by and see what we're doing. If you've just joined in, we're doing animation today in Unity using Unity's own 2D rigging and animation system. If you're new to the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. We're trying to hit 150 subscribers by the end of the week. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy the stream, or however much of it you stick around for, and learn something from it as well, because that's the main objective I want to go for with this channel. Great, so now under our, here we go, our bone structure has all of the names that we've just given it in here. So I believe we can start doing things. Now, I have to remember how to do it. I think first of all, let's go to the bottom of our foot. We're going to go to the bottom of the leg here, because I don't want to include the foot in this IK chain. I just want to have it so that I've got a game object to move the leg. So imagine my arm here, if the stream doesn't freeze up. Imagine my arm here is the leg. I want to be able to move the foot independently, but still have this main joint that I can push and pull about, so that I can move the whole leg as one thing, if that makes sense. So under our lower leg bone, we're going to create an empty, and we're going to move it down to this point as well. And we're going to call this our our left leg, sorry, not left leg, right leg, IK target, not target, target. And then the question is, what do I add the IK component to? I can never remember. We need this IK 2D manager. Ah, there we go. Right. Let's remove that from there. We need to add it to the parent bone of our skeletal structure. So we're going to go add component, IK manager 2D. And then under here, we can add a new limb solver. So now it's created this new game object called new limb solver 2D, and we're going to rename this to right lowercase I right leg solver. And under our effector, we're going to drag in this right leg IK target into that, and then hit the create target button. And now, instead of us having to go in and animate all of these legs on their own by ourselves by hand, we can just drag this little game object, and our leg does all of the movement that we want it to. And it means we can't overextend the leg either, so we won't get some weird knee issues. And it just makes life a lot easier for animation. So let's do the same for the left leg. Go onto our main bone, press the add button, another limb. We'll call this our left leg solver. And we'll go to our left leg as well, down the bone chain, create a new empty game object. Move that down to be in line with the bottom of our foot. Call this our left leg. Oops, hit the caps lock button by accident. It's hard to type when I can't see my keyboard because my microphone's in the way. Left leg IK target, like that. Grab our left leg solver and drag that target into the effector box and hit create target. And there we go, now our left leg is all linked up nicely as well. Beautiful. And the best part about this now is as well, we can... we should be able to do things like moving our body about without moving the things, but I imagine it's because they are child objects here. Woo! That's broken some things, hasn't it? What moves if I move these targets? Oh god. That's not right. That's not right. Okay, let's undo that. So I've done something wrong. I've missed a step or skipped a step. Because what we should be able to do is by grabbing these points. Oop, not like that. By grabbing these points or having these points exist, they shouldn't be influenced by our main bones, and I'm almost certain that it's definitely going to be because of the fact that I've created them under here. So let's start again. Let's just go in here and minus these out, delete these two, and we're going to take these both and make them not child objects of our main bone, and it's going to complain about it because it's a prefab. So we're going to right click on top and go unpack prefab completely so that it's no longer linked to the prefab, which feels to me like a dangerous move, because now I don't believe updates that we make down here will apply to our guy up here. I wonder if there's a way to relink that. Probably not, which kind of makes me think I should just start. Let's do that, and if I delete those, there we go. Alright, let's start again. So under main, I don't want to do it under main bone though, I want to do it under here. We will create an empty game object, drag it over to the bottom of our foot. We will call this our right leg effector. Add a new IK solver limb, drag that into there, and no, it does need to be a child. And then I can hit create target. Oops, I've done it on the wrong leg. Let's undo that. No. Right, okay. Let's just go back to square one. Back to square one. Yeah. That's confusing. I should be able to. Oh well. I mean, it's not a major problem. We can work around it. So let's just do those again. We'll create our empty game object. Yeah, this is going to be our left leg effector. Left leg IK effector, and we'll do the same thing for our right leg. Create a new empty game object. Move that down to, oopsie daisy, come here. Move that down to the bottom of our foot, round about where the ankle meets the foot bone, leg bone meets the foot bone. And this is our right leg IK effector. Go onto our main bone, add component, IK manager. Create a new limb solver. This can be our left leg IK solver. We'll drag our left leg effector in, create target, and then do the same for the right leg. Right leg IK solver, and create target. There we go. Now we're back to where we were. Let's just clear out that null pointer exception. So now we've got our player more or less set up. There's a couple of things that I want to fix in the legs, like you can see here. When the knee is bent, the back of the leg goes a bit weird. I think that's probably okay actually, it doesn't look too bad. It kind of makes sense for it to go like that. The ankles definitely though need some more influence on the back of the heel from the foot. Like this back part of the heel should rotate with the foot, or at least the underside of the heel should move with the foot, so that you know, we still have a smooth thing. Closer to what's going on with this heel down here, if we zoom in a bit, you can see there's some morphing going on. We want less of it on this side, but more of it down on the heel. So let's go in and sort that out before we do anything else. I think I've ballsed up my leg positions as well. So what we should be able to do on these is restore a default pose, and they'll go back to where they belong. We should be able to do the same with all of our bones, but apparently not. Apparently we do that with this. There we go, reset bind pose. So yeah, let's head back into the sprite editor and just do some tweaking to our skinning down here on the ankle. Going to go to our weight brush, making sure we have a sprite selected. We want the leg to be selected, and then with the pink bone, the foot bone, I want to have a bit more influence over this one, definitely this one a bit more. Just working our way up the leg, not here though. That should be more blue, and then pink. So now we have a more smooth outer side for the most part. Anyway, there's, you know, there's always some room for improvement that we'll need to work on there, but let's go in and do the other side as well. Gonna just paint all of that to be blue basically, so not completely actually, let's give it a bit of pink, like very subtle bit of pink, so that it does bend a bit. We'll do the same over here, just as we move up, so that it's not completely rigid. We probably want this one to be a bit more blue. Come along here. And this one a little bit more blue as well. Maybe I do want it to be pink. 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 And blue. It's not the most intuitive UI sometimes, to be fair, I must say, for doing stuff like this. That's looking okay though. I can make do with that. Let's move over to this foot. So let's have a look. Yeah, there's just no influence whatsoever here. So we want all of this to be predominantly green. Start moving up the back a little bit. Don't want that to be predominantly green though, I want that to be predominantly lime. Lime please. So that all stays put. There we go, and then it kind of collapses into itself. And of course I'm not going to be going around to these extremes because that's just not lateral. We'll be staying around the front. There we go, so that's cool. And I was happy with the legs. The auto weight geometry did pretty good there. And the body is as the body is. So we'll hit apply again. And then let's get on to doing some animations, shall we? How long have we been going for? 48 minutes, nice. It's not too bad. Okay, so we want to be animating our player design object. Hey, I'm just looking at chat again. I'm missing things. Unity creates a mesh from your 2D image that you can rig. Yep, that's exactly what it does. It's really handy. If you missed the first bit of the stream, which I'm assuming you did, you simply combination of the PSD importer package in the Unity package manager and the 2D animation package as well. Have those both imported in your project, and then it's actually a PSB file that you need to import. So that's .psb, Photoshop Big. You can also do it with normal PNGs. You just have to make sure nothing's touching and everything's separate. But you drag that into your Unity project, have it set up as multiple, hit on the sprite editor, and then if you head over to the skinning editor, create your bones as you need to using the create bones section, where you can literally just click and draw to make new bones, right click to split away from a single run, and then just hit auto geometry and click generate for selected down in the bottom right. There was more detail to that in the start of the stream, which it'll be available on the channel after we're done, probably later on tonight / early hours of the morning, just because of YouTube processing times. But you can for sure go back and watch it, and like I say, I went into a lot more detail about how it works there. So now we're actually going to start animating our little guy, which is going to start by literally selecting the player design object in our hierarchy, and we'll hit create in the animation window. We are going to start with a idle animation. Let's allow permissions for my new Unity install. Going to go under animations, player, and this is going to be player_idle. Yeah, it's awesome. I think it's been around for probably about a year now, but like as far as Unity's concerned, I'm still considering that to be relatively recent. Yeah, it's a really awesome feature, especially when it means you don't have to fork out loads of money on something like Spine or you know, some other alternative where you create the same thing as a set of meshes in like Blender or something. Just manually make your planes and map the PNGs onto the planes. It's like, you don't want to do that. And it's certainly with things like inverse kinematics, it makes animating the legs and limbs and things so much more straightforward, because you can, like we did earlier, you can just move your leg about and it works. So yeah, it's really cool. What we're going to do for the idle animation, we are going to implement a very simple technique which I've stolen from Thomas Brush, who is quite possibly my favourite game dev YouTuber. Even though I don't think most people would necessarily class him as an indie dev YouTube channel particularly. I mean, he is, and he kind of isn't, because he's almost gotten that step ahead, because he's, you know, worked with publishers and everything, but he is still an independent game developer. But this technique is something he talked about in one of his videos where he was animating Pete for his game Neversong. So we're going to start off by just rotating everything a bit to the right. Make sure our feet are kind of staying flat on the ground as well. Let's move him down a little bit. Whoops. This is the issue I've got when I grab my my little foot effector. I don't want to move the leg bone particularly. So yeah, we'll just rotate everything to the right, possibly not that much with the head, just subtly. And then we'll move forwards about 30 frames. Rotate everything back round to the left. Do the same with the head. Like that. And we'll keep the legs on the ground as well. Rotate that foot down. Let's just see how much our feet are sliding about. That one's a little bit weird. So let's just fix that up a bit. Now we've got this one sliding down. I don't want my feet to slide about too much. They can slide a little bit. Oopsie daisy. Let's move that back to there. There we go, that'll do. So it looks really wacky now. And if we copy our first frame, move forwards to 60. You know, I think I'm going to scale this down a bit. Let's go 20 and 40 just because I want him to be a little bit quicker. He's looking pretty wacky at the moment. Let's make sure we're keeping that foot flat as well. Copy that frame there again, paste it back in. There we go, and I want to make sure I'm doing the same with my foot over this side. Oopsie daisy. Don't want to deselect by accident. There we go, it'll do. Something wacky's gone on with my my IK though, for sure. Because I should be able to move the body and have the feet stay in the same place. Yes, this particular song is from Breath of the Wild. I've got just a nice Zelda mega mix going on in the background with some ambience. Tend to enjoy working to Zelda music. So now we are simply going to take all of these things and offset them. So the further away from the center we get, so it's actually just going to be the head, I guess, and the legs will stay pretty much even. So let's grab our head bone rotation keyframes and offset them by about, let's go by about 4 frames. And I'm actually going to take this whole thing and scale it up to 60 again. Stick these back in place. No, don't want to scale them, I want to move them. Move them forwards about that much. Now we've got this kind of heavy sway. I'm not happy with how those legs are looking though. There's too much going on here. So, in classic fashion, I'm going to start from scratch. Let's just take our body and move it down. Do I want to move it down? Not really. Let's just make the movements more subtle. So we can bring our leg down to the ground. Keep it flat. Do the same here. Keep it flat. Oops. Yeah, Zelda music is brilliant to work to. Love it. We'll have the head do the most movement, I think, because at least then you got like a little bit of a sway bob. Head over to 30. Rotate in the opposite direction very subtly with the body. I imagine, let's just copy these frames, and I imagine I can paste them in here. No, apparently not. I guess it's because it's local position rather than world position. So let's just make sure these are staying. Oops, not that one. That one, no. This one. Oi, stop it. Let me grab my leg effector. we go. Make sure these are staying on the ground and keeping the feet flat as well. That leg has moved across. Let's move him back a bit. Now I've got this problem that the No. Let's do what I said. Let's move the body down a little bit on the y-axis. And at least then we can keep the feet flush on the ground. And it all makes some kind of sense. Because they'll be either completely straight or they'll be bent. Let's not forget to do the head as well. Head's going to be the thing we rotate the most. Forward to frame 30. Straighten up a bit. Keep these straight down on the ground where they were. Rotate the head back the other way. Just make sure I'm keeping the feet in more or less the same place. And that back foot is doing a little sneaky slide. You know what, I think that's okay. I think I can live with that for the time being. Then frame 60. Grab our head bone. The head bone. Move it forwards about 7 frames, I think. There we go. Might be bobbing a bit too much, actually, you know. So let's just on this forwards. Let's make that a little less. A little less in either direction. And we'll paste that one over here as well. And then from a distance, it's just kind of vibing, you know. So what we do now for this is with our head bone selected, because in Spine there's a nice feature for offsetting keyframes, and it automatically sets the start and end for you. Unity doesn't have that, but the easy way to fix it is doing it by hand, basically. So we know that this is the end of our sequence. Well, no, this is the end of our sequence, frame 60. So if we drag all of our head frames along, offset as much as we want, the position at frame 60 is going to be the position where the head should be at frame 60 with this offset. So we select our head bone, make a new keyframe like so, and then copy and paste it back at the beginning, and then we can delete this frame at the end, and now we have the same effective offset on that head going on. So what I want to do now is try and smooth these dope sheets out a bit. But swear down, Unity did something. That made the zoom or the dope sheet view so much less user friendly. What I want to do is Whoops. I would quite like to be able to change the shape or the length of certain things so that this animation is a little smoother, but I'm not sure I can, so I'm not going to meddle. Going to drag this out a bit longer, possibly double the length because it's a bit, nah, not quite double the length. So maybe say 100. Let's go 90. There we go. Brilliant. We'll look forward to seeing you in another one. Thanks very much for stopping by. I'll hopefully catch you next time. Cheers. Right. How much longer are we going for? Got about another hour or so. Give or take, I mean. Okay, so that's a basic idle animation for ourselves. You know what? I'm going to make this a little more fun. Can I make it a little more fun? I want to add hats to the game. So like instead of unlockable characters like you have in Spelunky, I want to add different unlockable hats that'll be at the end of these bonus rooms where you there'll be like challenge rooms, so different platforming challenges with extra death traps and things. And I want to introduce some more of those. And have little unlockable hats at the end of all of them, or just massive pots of cash. So that's something I want to introduce, and I wanted to give it a Christmas hat for Christmas time, but I just didn't have the time, unfortunately, to do that. Right, let's do a player run animation. Player underscore run. This one is going to be fun because I can never remember how to do running animations properly. But we are going to, let's get some reference. I'm going to go run animation. Rip reference like it had. There we go. A slow jog. I want like a proper run. Oh. Have we lost it? Nope, we're still about. Honestly, I hate it when that happens. The stream just freezes on my screen and I get a loading icon pop up. I'm like, oh no, it's gone down again. But no, it looks like we're still about. Possibly something like this. Flow of the body, because the legs, it being a character that doesn't have hands or arms, makes this a lot more straightforward. We can just be following the curve of the general bob, and then kind of yeah, go with it. So we'll start off with that first frame, the straight leg frame. Or shall we start... I suppose it doesn't really matter where we start because Unity handles a lot of blending stuff for us. So we'll start with this straight leg pose, which is not the highest point. Let's make sure we're recording. We're going to be leant forwards a fair bit. Like so. We'll lean the head back a little bit so that we can see where we're going, and then let's not grab that one, let's grab this one. Gonna have this one pretty straight and this one pretty straight backwards. Do some things with the feet as well. Make sure these are looking good, like so. And then the down position. Tell you what, let's make him lean forwards even more actually. This is a proper run that we're doing here. It's not just a casual jog. It's a proper run. So we could actually move the eyes up a little bit, maybe. No, let's not do that. Don't like that. Hello! Thanks very much, I appreciate it greatly. Everybody deals with burnout. Oh, that's a good one actually for me, because I've worked on a lot of different game projects and burnt out on pretty much all of them. I think taking breaks is, you know, great. And when I say that, I don't mean just stepping away for a bit and doing something else, but you know, kind of working on something different. If it's like a little side project that you want to do, like say you've been working on a game for 6 months and you sat there staring at it like, oh, I don't want to be doing this anymore. Take a step away for a couple of weeks, enter some game jams or do a different kind of hobby. If you're a musician, go play some music for a bit instead. That's certainly something I do, because I'm a musician as well. So if I hit the point where I'm working on the game and I just hit a brick wall with it and I feel like I have no motivation or energy to put into it, I'll just go play guitar for like a bit and not look at the game for a week or week and a half, 2 weeks, and then I can, you know, have a proper reset and come back to it and look at it with fresh eyes. And I think the same thing also applies with even just starting up a little side game project. Like I was kind of feeling like I was hitting a point that I was burning out on this game in the new year, especially with everything that happened with the corruption going on. I just felt like I didn't really want to work on it, and so I took a step back, and my dad had a game idea that he wants to work on as well, so we started putting together a prototype for that. And I spent a couple of days just bashing together some random scripts and code to get a playable prototype of that working. And after I'd done that, I felt much more motivated to come back in at this game with a different angle, look at the art style and the creative aspect of it, rather than just the code. And you know, that kind of helped me stay motivated with it. I think the same applies for someone who is an indie developer doing everything in the game. If you're, you know, doing the art, the music, the animation, programming, all of it, switch between those different things, because it's different context. You know, you don't want to be doing programming every day for the whole time you're working on it. If you get to a week where you're just like, oh, I really don't want to program any new features here, don't do it. Just write some music for the game, or improve the animations, or work on the art style or something. It just helps to keep you from being stuck in a rut, if that helps at all. Hopefully it does. Right, I'm gonna go about 10 frames forward, lower the player right down, like right down, get this foot up in here, get it flat, start bringing this one through. And here's where the good stuff starts happening with the way I've got the legs set up. We can move these legs about. Look at that, it's completely detached, like pew. I love stuff like that. Do I get burnout from that? Yes, definitely. You know, it's kind of hard, especially being in working in programming as well, and then coming to do programming after I finish work on my game. I can spend like a solid 12 hours a day just staring at code, and that, yeah, that's definitely something that can drain you out easily. But on top of things can't manage. You know, I've started getting into the habit of making lists of things that I want to get done in a day, and if I've got that in mind, I can say to anyone else who says, can you do this, I can say, no, I have my list, I'm just doing that. And it certainly helps for if I do have a day where I'm like, oh, this is a proper task, this is proper tedious, I don't want to do this, I can have my tangible list of things that I'm going to achieve today, but still know that it's okay if I don't achieve all of them. As long as I have my, like, I've got my set working hours that I try to stick to, with work being 9 till 5:30, and then I try and do 2 hours between 7 and 10 during the weekdays, with a couple of exceptions where I'll take a day off. That's the best way for me to stay on top of that from just a general overworking burnout, I guess that would be. There we go. Let's rotate in our head a little bit more, and the body. Let's keep that leg where it belongs. We could possibly start sliding this leg forwards a bit and this leg backwards a bit. There we go, that's looking good, isn't it? Yeah! And then we'll come back a little bit further, not back, forwards, frame 20. What's our next? Push. So, we're going to bring this leg back even further, a little bit, and this one a bit forward. We're not going to have them cross over completely, because that's, you know, that's not how legs work in 2D. Rotate this a bit more. Whoop! I keep grabbing the foot by accident. Keep bringing this one forward, possibly with a foot like that. We'll start bringing the head back up a bit more as well now. I think possibly we wanna be starting to come up now, don't we? With the torso, we want to be starting to make that upwards move. This is probably where the point where this leg is coming through. Oh yeah, he should be well through, like pretty forwards. I think I'll probably keep it something like that. Maybe if we move this leg back a bit further still. Yeah, there we go. Shouldn't be moving down though. This push, I need to move the body up even higher. And not grab the foot. There we go. Now this leg can be coming out forwards. Yeah, there we go, that's better. And then we are to the up. Start off by moving ourselves well off the ground. And this is where we will move a little bit further back, a little bit further forward, and have the leg fully out, basically, in this full up position, fully outstretched. I'm actually going to lean the body back a little bit more as well, which feels kind of unnatural, but I think it should look pretty good. He says. Kind of looks more like he's doing a jump than a run. That start is good, but the way the leg comes up is not quite right. I think it's because of this slide. Push there. Let's go like that. It's really annoying sometimes how the automatic tweening works on these animations, because like here it's worked fantastically. I think that leg coming through the front is brilliant, and it pushes down, and then we get to here. I think here this should be higher up, like that, ready to kick out. Or no, the guy should just be higher. He should be higher off the ground. The issue at that point is that the leg doesn't reach the floor. Have we got a full crossover happening here? Yeah, we do. So this is the main problem that we've got now, is that the front leg isn't long enough to reach the floor if we're that high up. Whoops. Push through, there we go. Let's get that foot rotated down a bit. I'm actually going to slide it even further back. Maybe not that far back. That's... no. Let's have him... there we go. That makes more sense. Slide forward. Shoop. Hits the floor. Does the push. And at this point we're up. And we're going to start this one again. That push has come off. We want to be almost completely outstretched. This one should be completely outstretched. We can take this way back. Stretch on that. Pull the head up and rotate the body forward a bit. Oh, and of course we need to bring it up. Bends here. Does like a weird little extra bend when it's coming up. Because I think it's just doing a more or less straight line. So that rotation. Oh, if we... looks like it. We're going flat line. Oh, it's a little bit back. It looks like it is struggling though. For anybody who's still about, is there sound still? Or are we properly chugging? It looks like it's still going, but I am not 100% sure. I think, given the Wi-Fi's being a pain, we'll probably hit the stop button after I've done this. This animation here, that rotation should be a lot more. Down. I think this position should probably be higher as well, maybe something like that, and then we come down, that leg hits the ground, and then here, let's bring this one up a bit. Nope. Body, 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 bring the body up a bit, get that leg down for the push. This one out front, and then So annoying. Maybe it's actually this front leg. Let's bring that right up. So let's push forward. There we go. There we go. That's kind of better. Kind of better. It almost looks like a loop as is. Oh no, we lost it. Honestly can't tell on YouTube anymore. It looks like it might be gone. No, we look like we're still going. It may well have gone down. It may well have gone down and just started back up again. Oh god, yeah, it's well behind. Alright, I tell you what, the Wi-Fi's being terrible, so I think we'll call it a day there. We'll have to cut it early because it's not going to come back, unfortunately. That's a shame. That's a shame. Yeah, let's call it there. Let's call it there. All right. Apologies for that, guys. There, like I said at the start of the stream, there's a technician coming out next week. I can see it's still going on Twitch, but it's proper freezy. It's pretty delayed as well. Got like zero visibility of what's going on. Yeah, nah. I'll close off the stream now because I wanna be able to do like a proper decent stream where I can interact with everybody properly. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Hopefully we can get it fixed up when the technician comes next Monday, and it'll be better for the next one on Tuesday. But until then, thank you very much to everybody who's come and stopped by. Thank you to everyone who's still showing up and who's saying hi now. In True Color Games, I don't know how long you've been here on Twitch, but hopefully it's been a bit longer than just the laggy, choppy end of the stream. Everyone on YouTube who's come along and shown up and who's still about now as well, thanks very much for joining for this little animation setup session. It's only been an hour and a half for this one, which is a bit shorter than usual, but like I say, hopefully next time will be better. If you are not already subscribed on YouTube, I would really appreciate it, much appreciated, if you could head over to our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/c/ShibaDogStudios, and give us a subscribe on there. We're trying to hit 150 subscribers by the end of the week, and we're only 10 subscribers away, and it would really mean a lot to me if any of you who aren't already subscribed could hit that button if you enjoyed. Leave a like as well, leave some comments, let us know what you think of the other videos and devlogs. If you haven't seen the rest of the devlog on this project already, it looks a lot different now than how it did, so I highly recommend you go back and watch the full development series. I'm aware things are still coming in chat, but I have no idea how much delay there is between me doing stuff and the actual stream now, so I'm gonna continue and cut it off. But thank you again, everybody. Honestly, it's always cool being able to talk to you guys. especially now there's more people turning up and I can have some proper conversations with you guys as well. It's really cool to interact with you, and hopefully soon we will get the Discord server up and running and we can start build a proper community for devs and gamers alike. So one last time, thank you very much guys. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at Shubadog Studios, and yeah, I will see you on Saturday for the next devlog and next Tuesday for the next live stream. Thanks very much guys, have a good one.